Okay, so are you are you all able to hear me? Students, are you all here able
Yes.
to hear me?
Yes, sir.
So in the last class, we discussed certain numericals, right? Yes or no? Can you just tell me the question which
Yes.
we did in the last class, and after that I asked you to do one question, right, students? Hello, hello, are you there? Hello.
Yes, sir.
So can someone please help me with that? In the last class, we discussed the question, na? So, what was the question that was solved, first of all? And secondly, I explained one question before the class concluded, and I told that we'll discuss it till today. Can you just narrate the question? Someone? Hello? Please cooperate. Anyone is there who can narrate the question? Tell me the question. Or no one has done? If you don't tell me the question, I'll assume that you haven't done anything. I am just simply shouting in the class. Hello? Yeah, hello?
Sir, it was to find the loss of kinetic energy.
हाँ, क्वेश्चन को एक बार बोलो तो मुझे.
A sphere of mass 1 kg moving at 3 meter per second overtakes another sphere of mass 5 kg moving
वो
in
तो
the
तुम
same
लोग
line.
को एक्सप्लेन नहीं किया ना. उसके पहले का एक न्यूमेरिकल करवाया था ना, उसको बोलो तो.
उसका पहले का
दो न्यूमेरिकल था ना.
A ball impinges directly on a similar ball at rest. The first ball is reduced to rest by the impact. Find the coefficient of restitution if half of the initial kinetic energy is lost by the impact.
Okay, so did you understand that numerical? So did you guys understood that numerical?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so today we'll be doing the next one, right? So it is the question reads like this, if I'm not wrong. A sphere of mass 1 kg moving at 3 meter per second overtakes another sphere of mass 5 kg moving in the same line at 60 centimeter per second. Find the loss in kinetic energy during impact and show that the direction of motion of the first sphere is reversed. Take coefficient of restitution as 0.75. Yes. So what I will do is I will first of all explain the sum, then give you some time to solve. If you can't, by the end we'll just solve it together. Okay. Is it okay for every one of you? Is it okay what I've said?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let us start. Seems like only few are active. What about the others? I see many people connected, but okay, fine. So can you see the question?
Yes.
ठीक है. तो अभी what I will do is let us start discussing the numerical first. So in this question, it is given that the mass of the sphere, is 1 kg and it is moving at 3 meter per second. Now this sphere overtakes another sphere of mass 5 kg moving in the same line at 60 centimeter per second. So you have to find the loss in kinetic energy during the impact. Okay. तो कैसे So how to solve it? So you have to solve it like the mass of the first sphere m1 is 1 kg. Now look, as per the question, what it reads: a sphere of mass 1 kg is moving at 3 meter per second and it overtakes another sphere of mass 5 kg moving in the same line at 60 centimeter per second. Now the mass of initial sphere, that means the 1 kg wala sphere, it is 1 kg now, and the velocity of that 1 kg wala sphere is what? 3 meter per second. ठीक है? तो अगर 3 मीटर पर सेकेंड वेलोसिटी ऑफ द इनिशियल स्फीयर है तो उसके बाद हम लोग क्या करेंगे? विल जस्ट राइट यू कैन मास ऑफ फर्स्ट स्फीयर m1 then initial velocity of first sphere u1, this at 3 meter per second. Now for the second sphere, if you pay attention in the question, you can see that there is another sphere which is having mass 5 kg. Mass of second sphere m2 is equal to 5 kg and and the velocity of the second sphere is 60 centimeter per second. Now centimeter per second you have to convert it to what? Meter per second. No? So how will you convert it? It is simple, 0.6 meter per second. And then given the coefficient of restitution, that means E is equal to 0.75. Now as you all know, I gave you one formula in the last class. If you remember, EL equal to m1 m2 divided by 2 m1 plus m2 u1 minus u2 whole square into 1 minus e square. Do you remember that thing? Students, did you remember that formula?
Yes, sir.
Did you take the screenshot of the formula?
Yes, sir.
Okay, फिर से मैं लिख देता हूँ. Can you see this? Can you see the formula?
Yes, sir.
ठीक है. तो अभी हम लोग क्या करेंगे? What we will do is now you will use this formula and find out the EL. You know m1, m2, you know u1, u2, and you know E. So you can find out the loss of kinetic energy. First of all, first step is over. After finding out the first step, what you will have to find out is, okay, let us go for the first step now. So what we will do is, I will give you 5 minutes or time. Try to find out the EL and tell me the answer in the chat box. Okay, do it. Okay, few people have done it. So what about others? I can see 3 answers. Yeah, I can see 3 answers from 3 people. So what about others? बाकी का भी आंसर चाहिए मुझे. I can see more than 30 people in the class. Yeah, most of you have got the correct answer. Very good. Very good. So if you see here, this one is the answer. Okay. So why J is there? So someone has written it as J. Can you tell me why did you write J? 1.05 J. Can you just tell me why did you write 1.05 J? What is J?
Joule.
Hey, very good. Very good. Very good. Good. So this is how it is being done because unit of energy is joule. That is why. Very good. Now what we'll go is we'll go for the second phase now. So how will you find out the final velocity? So for finding out the final velocity, what you have to do is you have found out till there. Now you have to assume that v1 is equal to final velocity of the first sphere and v2 is the final velocity of the second sphere. ठीक है? उसके बाद तुम लोग क्या करोगे? What you will do is you will use the law of conservation of momentum. ठीक है? What does law of conservation of momentum states? m1 v1 plus m2 u2 equal to m1 v1 plus m2 v2. So you know m1, you know u1, you know m2, and you know u2. So you just put that in that equation, and then you will get one equation where you will have two unknowns. Okay? So those two unknowns will be v1 and v2. So for the first, so for two unknowns, what you need to have is you need to have two equations, right? So for two unknowns, you'll have to have two equations. So first equation you will be getting from m1 v1 m2 v2, sorry, m1 u1 plus m2 u2 equal to m1 v1 plus m2 v2. ठीक है? तो तुम लोग को वो मिलेगा फर्स्ट. हाँ, तो उसके बाद सेकेंड के लिए क्या मिलेगा तुम लोग को? Let me write it down. So for the first case, what you will get is we will get one equation from this one. I am writing something, can you all see?
Sir.
So here you have to find a equation with respect to you have to find one equation with respect to what? V1 and okay, V2. So one equation you have to find with respect to V1 and V2. And then for the second case, what you will do is, you know this one. This will be what? 1. ठीक है sir? Just 2 to how will you find it out? So for 2, you will find out for 2 you will find out V2 minus V1 equal to E U1 minus V2. There is one equation now for this restitution part. So you will be finding out these two. So here also you will be getting two unknowns, V1 and V2. So you have to find out again two unknowns, V1 and V2. So this will be what? This will be equation number 2. Okay. Now you will find equation 1 and equation 2, you are done. Then you got two unknowns and two equations. So the unknowns are V1 and V2, and the equations are what? This one and this one. So please try to find it out, the values of V1 and V2 from this. Try karo, or else I am there only, don't worry. Try it out. My voice is audible to all of you now? Students? Students, hello? Hello
Yes,
students?
sir.
हाँ ठीक है, ये ट्राई करो तो तुम लोग. So you will do you need some time, students? Students, do you need some time to solve it? Hello. Yeah, someone please respond. Do you need some time to solve?
Yes.
Okay, take it. You take some time. Try to solve it. Okay. That's very good, very good, very good. Many people has done it. Yeah. Yeah, I got 3 answers. I need some more answers. Then only I will discuss it with everyone. Yeah, I will explain it. I will explain it. I'm just asking everyone to do it of their own, to try it once. Then definitely I will explain it, how to solve. Don't worry. I will explain the same numerical from the very first. Ah, just don't worry. I'm asking your friends to just giving a chance to try. because if you try, then I feel good, na? So I want everyone to try. You try it within 1-2 minutes. I'll just start to explain it. Don't worry. Okay, chalo, let's start to explain. Yeah. So how will you have to solve it? So look, you are done. Find solving the numerical. Can you see the numerical? Solve numerical. So I think everyone understood till this part, this first part, right? This first part up to 1.05 joule, how it came. You just put in the formula, you and find out. So someone asked me about it. Did you understand? Did you understand this first part? Hello? Did you understand the first part? Yeah, please pick up. तुम बोलो माइक पे बोलो. समझ में आया?
हाँ सर.
हाँ? फर्स्ट पार्ट समझ में आया?
यस सर.
हाँ ठीक है. इसको सिर्फ फॉर्मूला में डालना है तुमको. M1 M2 तुमको पता है, U1 U2 पता है तुमको. तो now for the second part, look at the sum. The given final velocity of the sphere. You have to find out the final velocity of the sphere. If you see by previous classes, you will find it out. So what is the final velocity of the sphere actually? Now V1 and V2 are the final velocity of the sphere. First sphere is V1, second sphere is V2. Okay. Now just use this equation, the equation of conservation of momentum. So from equation of conservation of momentum, what you will get is M1 U1 plus M2 U2 equal to M1 V1 plus M2 V2. Now you don't know V1 and V2, but you know U1 and U2, M1 and M2. So put the values and just find out one equation for this one as the equation number 1, this one here, as you can see in equation number 1. So you got one equation in terms of V1 and V2. Now when you come to the second part, so in second part, the collision of elastic bodies law, there is one law of collision of elastic bodies. So that law states that V2 minus V1 equal to E U1 minus U2. Okay, so V2 minus V1 equal to E U1 minus E2. This means what? This means you know E is given in the question 0.75 and U1 and U2 also given in the question. So you just put it here and you will be getting the values. So eventually if you get the values, then you get the equation number 2 of V2 minus V1 equal to 1.8. That means V1 plus 5 V2 equal to 6 and V2 minus V1 equal to 1.8. Now this is simple algebra from this part onwards. So you just solve the two equations 1 and 2. So from 1 and 2, if there are two equations and two unknowns, everyone knows that you will be able to find what? Those two unknowns from those two equations, right? So if you can find out those two equations from the two unknowns, after you found out the two unknowns, so you just find out the values of V1 and V2. So you got V1 equal to what? So you got V2 equal to 1.3 meter per second and V1 equal to 0.5 meter per second. Now look, there's a catch here. If you see here, you will be finding that this comes out to be negative. The V1 comes out to be negative. Na? So why V1 comes out to be negative? because V1 is negative because V1 is negative because why V1? Because it is, I mean, V1 is negative. This means what? It is in opposite direction. So V1 is negative, that means what? This one is in opposite direction. So if it is in opposite direction, that means what? The minus sign is there. And minus sign indicates that the motion of the first body is reversed just after the impact. Okay? So V1 is simply negative. That is why V1 is in opposite direction. So got it? That is how we have to solve the numerical. So you can just prove it how V1 is in opposite direction. Okay? I guess this is clear. If you have any doubt, you can just ask me. अगर डाउट नहीं है तो तुम लोग लिख लो न्यूमेरिकल को. आई एम जस्ट वेटिंग. Is it clear, students? Everyone?
So it's clear.
ठीक है. Okay, fine. So there is one thing I am to tell you. So that is what, there is one very long derivation that we discussed in some classes back. So that derivation, like, it was the derivation of this one, the loss of kinetic energy that is due to impact. So the formula that we used just now in this sum today, that means EL equal to m1 m2 divided by 2 m1 plus m2 whole into u1 minus u2 whole square whole into 1 minus a square. So this loss in kinetic energy formula derivation, I don't think so it is very lengthy, so just don't try to remember the final expression. That means how the formula is. Okay, derivation, if you are interested, you can go for it, but then it's optional for you people. Okay, so you just can, if you want to see yourself, you can go for it. It's just optional for you. Okay, so derivation is not that important from my point of view. So you just, but the important thing is you have to remember the formula. EL equal to this formula. I'm saying this formula. Okay, so you have to remember this formula. So you have to remember this formula, which is important. Okay, किसी का कोई डाउट है इस पे ऊपर, इस फॉर्मूला के ऊपर? So this is basically what is the loss that is happening when two bodies are striking or colliding with each other. Okay, suppose one car hits another, or maybe one ball hits another ball, then there will be some loss in kinetic energy. This is basically that identity, which is, or this is basically that formula, which is actually telling us, what is actually the loss of kinetic energy because of a particular impact. Okay, so this is how it is to be done. I hope this is clear for you all. If you have any doubt, you can just ask me.
Yes, clear.
Okay, बाकी किसी का अगर कोई डाउट है तो तुम लोग पूछ सकते हो मुझे. Any problem?
I know, sir.
No, no.
Sir,
बोलो बोलो.
uh,
तुम्हारा तुम्हारा वॉइस सुन नहीं रहा हूँ मैं. टेम, what you are saying, I'm not able to hear you. Can you please say again? I'm not able to hear you. Can you say it again? You just give me a call if you're okay, if you're having any problem.